U.S. law enforcement agencies are probing another assassination attempt on Donald Trump after Secret Service agents opened fire at a gunman near a golf course in Florida. Suspected Trump shooter was arrested after fleeing the scene. An AK-47 rifle, 2 backpacks and a GoPro camera were found nearby where the gunman was pointing the rifle. The incident comes just 2 months after Trump survived an assassination attempt at a rally in Pennsylvania. In a message to his supporters, Trump says his resolve was stronger after another attempt on his life. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has signalled he is interested in Italy's migration deal with Albania as a way of tackling the small boats crisis. This comes ahead of Starmer's meeting with Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. Starmer said it was too early for the implementation of the policy, but did not rule out considering a similar agreement for Britain. Speaking with the media, Starmer said that the illegal migrants issue will be one of the major highlights of the meeting. Inhabitants of the French beach town of Ambleteau have been left shocked by an ill-fated attempt to cross the English Channel that turned deadly. 8 migrants from Eritrea, Sudan, Syria, Egypt, Iran and Afghanistan drowned on Sunday, mere weeks after 12 others died attempting a similar journey earlier this month. Israeli warplanes carried out an aerial assault, launching a series of airstrikes targeting the Mahmoudiyeh area of southern Lebanon. Israeli jets fired several air-to-ground missiles, causing explosions. Earlier, Lebanese health operations claimed that Israeli bombardment of the town resulted in 4 people being injured. Ukraine claims 1 person killed and at least 40 others injured after Russian guided bomb hit a multi-story residential building in Kharkiv. According to the mayor, the guided bomb hit the 10th floor of the building, with the fire spreading across 4 stories. Argentina's President Javier Milei presented the 2025 budget to Congress late on Sunday. Outlining his policies, he said he would defend the government's commitment to maintaining fiscal balance and veto all bills that threaten it. He stated he would only consider increasing expenses if spending elsewhere were to be reduced in equal measure. Mexico's judicial reform overhauling the country's courts, which will allow voters to elect judges, officially took effect on Sunday after the text of the constitutional changes were published in the government gazette. A video posted on social media showed López Obrador signing a decree for the reform publication while sitting next to his successor, Claudia Sheinbaum. The publication of the reforms in the government's gazette kicks off the process to prepare for the first judicial elections for federal judges, including Supreme Court justices, set for next June. The reforms mark a major legislative victory in President Andrés Manuel López Obrador's final weeks in office. Thousands of people attended the Cry of Independence ceremony, which marks the start of Independence Day celebrations in Mexico's emblematic Zocalo Plaza. President Lopez Obrador is expected to give the traditional shout from the National Palace and ring the bell. The Philippines says it has not given up a disputed South China Sea reef 2 days after it pulled out a ship stationed there following a months-long standoff with rival claimant China. Philippines Coast Guard spokesperson has vowed that there will be a Coast Guard presence at the Escoda Shoal after the withdrawal of its flagship BRP Teresa Magbanua from the reef known internationally as the Sabina Shoal. India's Central Bureau of Investigation claimed that there could be a bigger conspiracy in the Kolkata rape and murder case. CBI made the claim while seeking custody of ex-principal of Arjikar Hospital and the station house officer who initially probed the case. The Central Probe Agency has slapped fresh charges against Sandeep Ghosh, the former principal of Arjikar Medical College and Hospital, naming him a key conspirator in the rape and murder case. The body of a trainee doctor was found in the seminar hall of the hospital. Two more former ministers have been arrested in Bangladesh. Bangladesh police have detained former cultural minister and actor Assaduzzaman Noor in Dhaka. Assaduzzaman Noor has been accused in a case filed at the Mirpur police station during the anti-discrimination student movement. Dhaka Metropolitan Police's detective branch also arrested former tourism minister Mehboob Ali, who has been arrested in Dhaka in a murder case filed with the Jathrabari police station. Pakistan's parliament was adjourned on Sunday without the tabling of a historical constitutional amendment bill aimed at extending the retirement age of superior judges. The amendment could extend the tenure of Chief Justice of Pakistan, Qazi Faiz Isa, who it would also reshape the judiciary structure. Defence Minister Khwaja Asif spoke to reporters. He said the required numbers for the constitutional amendment had not been achieved, and that is why the session was adjourned. Glowing dragon lanterns, mythical moonscapes were on display at the Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival. Families packed a Beijing park as they viewed large installations that lit up celebration of the Mid-Autumn Festival holiday, one of the most important in the Chinese calendar. Conservationists at Iran's most iconic ancient site, Persepolis, are waging a delicate battle against an unlikely adversary. That's a tiny but persistent fungi eroding the millennia-old monuments. Shahram Rabar, head of the renovation at the site, explained that in about 50, 100 or 200 years, the fungi will turn the stone into soil, destroying the stone. He said that if left unchecked, they will turn into a ruin, and his team are working relentlessly to combat the infestation. Typhoon Bebinca lashed Shanghai with strong winds and torrential rain. After making landfall in the early hours, the city issued a red alert with flights and highways being closed. According to the local Met Observatory, the maximum wind force of the typhoon during landfall reached 151 kilometers per hour. Shortly after the typhoon made a landfall, the state broadcaster said that it was the strongest storm to hit Shanghai since Typhoon Gloria in 1949. Around 10,000 people have been asked to leave their homes for higher ground in the city of Opava in Czech Republic as the country battles with heavy flooding. Rescuers used boats to transport people to safety as neighborhoods were flooded by the raging Opava River. Rescue workers say they are searching for alternative ways to save people when currents are too strong for the boats. Mayor Thomas Navratil told Czech Republic Radio that the situation was worse than during the last devastating floods in 1997, known as the flood of the century. PwC has assured staff it is making tangible investments to ensure long-term, high-quality business in China, following a record penalty from Chinese regulators. In an internal memo, the firm acknowledged the challenges ahead and outlined plans for a detailed remediation plan while emphasizing support for staff during this period. This comes after PwC Zhongshan LLP was fined $62 million and suspended for 6 months over its audit of property giant China Evergrande Group, which is at the center of a $78 billion fraud investigation. Chinese regulators accuse Evergrande of major accounting failures during 2020 and are scrutinizing PwC's role in the audit. In August, China experienced its steepest decline in new home prices in over 9 years, dropping 5.3% year-on-year. This decline, the largest since May 2015, marks the 14th consecutive month of falling prices, despite government efforts to revitalize the sector through measures like reducing mortgage rates and home buying costs. The property market continues to struggle with high developer debt, incomplete projects and waning buyer confidence. Analysts predict further declines in 2024 and 2025. Some suggest Beijing might need to step in as a last resort funder for delayed projects. China's policymakers are considering additional rate cuts to support the market, including potential reductions in the loan prime rate and the reserve requirement ratio. In September, U.S. consumer sentiment rose to a 4-month high, driven by expectations of moderating inflation and improving household incomes. And this boost comes as inflation pressures ease, with import prices falling by the largest margin in 8 months. The Federal Reserve is anticipated to begin a policy easing cycle with a 25 basis point rate cut almost certain, despite improved sentiment regarding inflation and buying conditions. Concerns about the labor market persist, with more consumers expecting higher unemployment. The one-year inflation expectation fell to 2.7%. That's the lowest since December 2020. The drop in import prices, especially in fuels and food, reinforces the Fed's shift towards focusing on economic and labor market conditions rather than inflation risks. India's Central Bureau of Investigation have busted an international cybercrime network in Mumbai, the capital city of the Indian state of Maharashtra. Officials arrested a man named Vishnu Rathi in connection with the case. Rathi allegedly duped a US citizen of around $450,000 by posing as a technical support agent. Called Operation Chakra 3, India's CBI is working with America's FBI to capture the criminals who are part of the cybercrime network. As per reports, the crime network has been active since 2022 under a company named InnoNet Technologies Private Limited. Researchers identified a security flaw dubbed gaze exploit in Apple's Vision Pro headset. When using the Apple Vision Pro headset, the user's avatar is visible to others, and researchers discovered that this loophole allowed the other person to study the eye movements of the avatar, helping them easily guess which key the victim is typing on. As per reports, the vulnerability was first discovered in April. Since then, Apple has issued a security patch to fix the issue as well. AI experts have put out a warning against AI-generated deepfake videos of famous TV doctors on social media, adding that these fake videos show TV doctors promoting dangerous and unverified health remedies. Experts say these fake videos typically target older audiences by faking the identity of the doctors who appear regularly on daytime television. Meanwhile, experts are skeptical about the effectiveness of AI detection tools, suggesting the urgent need for a technology that can verify the authenticity of the content, rather than trying to identify every fake video. Chinese scientists are developing a robot to monitor and protect coral reefs. Interestingly, the Chinese robot mimics and looks like a manta ray fish. Scientists chose to model this bionic fish robot after manta ray due to its superior maneuverability in water. In other words, just like the manta ray, the robot fish can also swim forwards and backwards, execute tight turns, dive, and even perform backflips.